We are Rich Lieberman, the Media Pulse for a Thursday, October 17th. We're now, what, about 20 days, 19 days away from this election of 2024. So look, I'm going to try to give you a unbiased, objective analysis, assessment of the much publicized. I watched it, and I know many of you did too. The Kamala Harris, the vice president, and Baier, who I think does a tremendous job on Fox News. Believe it or not, Fox News on their news side has some very, very capable people with credibility. People, by the way, with more credibility than some of the other so-called legit media, the big media people out there. I'll get to that in a moment, but I want to talk about the interview Baier did with Kamala Harris on Wednesday. I thought it was a very good interview. I thought Baier tried his best to be objective. Look, let's face it, folks, all of us have bias. We all do. There is no such thing as the Christian Science Monitor, which was noted, no longer around anymore. But the Christian Science Monitor was about as objective as it got. Those of you who remember reading the Christian Science Monitor. I'll give you another one. And some of you might be shocked because they lean to the right and they lean Republican. The Wall Street Journal does their best, and they think they do a very good job, unlike, say, the New York Times, which is way wholeheartedly non-objective, leans to the left. It comes out in their reporting, their editorials, which I guess is an opinion and all that, but whatever. They are not, in my book, credible. They're not. And the more and more I read about the New York Times, it's coming that way. Same thing with the cable industry. CNN tries to be objective, but they're not. On the opinion side, Fox News, they are right-wing. They might as well be GOP, part of their industry and so forth. I mean, that's just the way it is. On their news side, however, Fox News, and I'm going to again plug Baier, does a great job. So I watched the interview, and I'm going to try to be objective. I think you can be objective if you watched it. And first off, let's put this personal crap aside. I am not a big fan of Vice President Harris. Don't like her. I think she's a lightweight. I am no fan whatsoever of the former president, Donald Trump. Surprise, surprise. In fact, I think I speak for a majority of Americans. They're not thrilled with this decision. There are people like myself who can't stomach Trump, who is a narcissist, an egomaniac, who has cultists amongst his followers. I don't see how else to term it as cultists. And the irony is I agree with much, not a lot, with many of Trump's policies. But I can't stand the man. He is crazy. He is a seditionist, if that's a word. I just made it up. If it isn't, he is scary. He is psychotic. He's a narcissist. He's not a man. A woman would be the same thing if it was a woman fit to serve as president. I don't give a damn if he served as president a few years back. The man should not be anywhere near the White House. Harris clearly is fit. I think she changes her opinions a lot. I don't want to get this into a partisan broadcast about who is able and who is not able and issues and and policy and that. I'm talking about, in this instance, an interview that, politically speaking, I think served purpose to Harris, because she did this, and it was an adversarial interview with Baier, who I thought was fair, tough. I thought he gave her a lot of legway, and I don't know if I said the right word. He respected her as he should, and she did what she had to do, and that is Like even though she was sparse on answers, wasn't very specific, too much of let me talk, but that plays to her base. That plays to the crowd, who frankly is a majority again of people in the world today, especially in the United States. They don't like the mainstream media. They think the media is overbearing and talk about unfit and all that. So Kamala Harris had to appeal to her Democratic base, very much get out and vote, excite the base, So she did the Fox News interview. And look, I thought it was around the middle. Nobody wins in these kind of things. She did it because she needs extreme turnout. She needs to get all of the Democratic entities to go out, the working class people, who ironically, a lot of them are for Trump. Go figure. Democratic entities like working class, unions, teachers, certain ethnic folks like Hispanic votes who tend to lately be more for Trump, go figure, and black voters, particularly black men who, for whatever reason, I think I know why, but I'm not going to get into it now, are some of the biggest Trump supporters. Go figure again, but I think I know, but this is not the time to go into that. Kamala Harris did okay. A little too much, in my opinion, again, of let me talk, can I please finish, overdoes that. But I'm sure her advisors were happy. But more to the point about the interview itself. The right-wing media punditry, they can't help themselves. Same thing for the left-leaning punditry, like CNN, like MSNBC, who may have had issues with Kamala Harris's interview, but still cannot be objective, even if they tried. I'll give you an example too, CNN. And I like Anderson Cooper. I think he does a fine job. He's biased. You know it. He knows it. And look, he was trying to be fair and all that, but it just, the right wing punditry. I listened to this guy on radio, Hugh Hewitt. Know that guy with Salem Radio Network? Trump guy. All these Trump loving media pundits. Is there anything? This is what I would ask them. Is there anything that Trump did that you are not for? But they don't say that. Anything he does, oh, we love Trump. We love Trump. And they despise Harris, which is fine. But try to be objective. Try to watch an interview on Fox, no less, where you can at least fake it. Try to fake it and look for a good interview. They didn't even fake it when they realized everybody under the sun said that Harris won the debate back in June when Trump was talking about dogs and cats being eaten and all that. So, look, folks, to me, that was a good interview. I watched it. I could have dealt with more substantive stuff, but whatever. That's on Harris. This is basically a tied race. It's tied. It's going to come down to about 5 states. I wouldn't be surprised if Kamala Harris, Vice President Harris, were to win the popular vote and lose the electoral vote. I don't think it's going to be a landslide, as some people are saying, on Trump. I think it's a neck and neck race. I think it's basically tied. I think that actually she's going to probably challenge Trump again, and he's not going to do another debate. He already said so. Why should he? Maybe he appears on 60 Minutes, although they're fighting an image problem right now with 60 Minutes and CBS and all that. So it's going to be interesting. I wouldn't be surprised, you heard it from me first, if Trump were to do an interview, say, on CNN with, speaking of who I just mentioned his name. Anderson Cooper. Can you imagine that? And he's interviewed Trump before. So Anderson Cooper doing a one-on-one with Donald Trump. Who knows? He has nothing to lose, and I think he'd be fair. I'm talking about not Trump now. I'm talking about Anderson Cooper. We'll see a tit for tat, but that's my analysis of the Harris interview with Bret Baier, who again I say is an underrated news journalist, a real good one too at that. And he's on Fox News. Another go figure, but that's another story. Hey, be a subscriber to my channel. I talk about now national, sometimes international, local media here in the San Francisco Bay Area. Do become a subscriber to my channel. And most importantly, if you can, make a donation to my site so that I can continue to give you the news that you will not get anywhere else but here. Thanks for watching.